Multi-sector and non-traditional partnerships had a profound impact on the sustainability of the Fresh Food Financing Initiative. Each organization's contribution led to an essential leverage of funds, expertise, and support.
The best partnerships, in my opinion, is when each group or person brings a very unique set of skills. And so the Reinvestment Fund, clearly they're the best in the country at what they do by bringing projects, everything from charter schools and housing, and now grocery stores to low-income areas, being able to make those deals happen successfully, very complex deals. The Food Trust, focusing on the public health end and on this, and also being a partner with the grocers themselves, trying to help them through the application process, marketing the program. The state in putting in the grant dollars that made it compelling to the grocers, and then lastly there was also the Greater Philadelphia Urban Affairs Coalition, and they were a very important partner as well. For the Philadelphia specific projects, they made sure that there was minority representation with the construction of any ground-up projects, that all projects were truly inclusive.
Sustained collaboration was facilitated by regular, ongoing communications between members of the task force and other key stakeholders.
The good news about communication between the partners, I believe, is we have a lot of respect for the Reinvestment Fund as well as our partners at the state level. We just enjoy working with them, so that always helps. But yeah, I would say that there was just a lot of ongoing communication. I believe there was monthly reports that we would send to the Reinvestment Fund, and there were some formal type communications. But then, as applications were coming in, we were also just on the phone a lot together, and it also helped that we physically were located close by to each other. But it was very much a team effort. Everything that we did, we were also talking with the Reinvestment Fund about, and it was a true collaboration. And what I love about it so much is that having our public health perspective matched with their finance expertise and real estate expertise, it was just, to me, it's a very beautiful combination.
Having continuous key stakeholder buy-in and support also contributed to sustainability. In addition to facilitating the investment of Commonwealth funds, Representative Evans acted as a program champion.
What I think I've been is like what you call the #1 volunteer, a real cheerleader to promote this idea. I've gone around the country, spoken to various organizations about the importance of the Fresh Food Financing Initiative, from Illinois to New York to New Jersey, places that I've been a part of, healthy communities.
Buy-in from community members was also crucial to sustainability. The Urban Affairs Coalition assisted retailers in local hiring and inclusion of underrepresented groups and permanent workforce. In addition, secondary development began to take place in these communities, which supported the sustained presence of fresh food retail.
One of our products is the provision of economic opportunity planning to project owners. So we will typically work with a large project to consider what is the economic opportunity, how many jobs does this create, how many contracts can be let locally. It's good economic development. It means that you're creating wealth, it's exponential, it's right in your community.
So a store like this probably has 300 or more jobs that service this store on a regular basis, vendors that bring merchandise to it, that fix things that are broken, that provide services to the business. And wherever we go, all kinds of other retail follow. We have a Lowe's Home Improvement in this center, we have a Planet Fitness, and maybe 20 or 30 other retail stores, which again all bring jobs and all bring other firms that serve them. And what's interesting is it has a synergistic effect where everyone wants to be where the economic activity is. And so we know it improves home values. TRF did a study that in the local area where we built one of our stores, it has immediate lift in home values of 5%. It essentially mitigates most of the problems of poverty very, very quickly. So I think the benefit of this work is pretty profound in a lot of different ways. One of the things we've done with employment that we've been very firm with is almost all the jobs are local. So we think it's important that the jobs be local as part of the community getting a benefit out of the store.
The Food Trust and the Reinvestment Fund selected food retailers likely to execute successful activities long term. For communities or retailers not yet prepared for large-scale improvements, smaller creative strategies were found.
We learned how important it was to be able to identify grocers that had experience in this area. There may be a great project and a great group that wanted to open up a store, but without that experience level, it just, even with our hearts there, it just wasn't always the best decision to do a deal. Not every neighborhood can support a large-scale supermarket, but oftentimes you'll see these very small food stores. And we wanted very much to start introducing fresh food and healthy food into these stores, since for the most part, when you walk into the store, you're going to see lottery tickets, cigarettes, and candy for the most part. But one of the challenges we learned was that they may not have all of the financials in place, like great bookkeeping. They really needed more technical assistance. We were able to work with the Reinvestment Fund on a creative solution. The Food Trust was able to take some of the fresh food financing dollars, and then the Food Trust purchased refrigerators, these small refrigerators, because these are stores that don't have a lot of room in them. And we then distributed these to some of the corner store operators. Then our staff went around to make sure that these refrigerators were stocked with healthy foods, things like fruit salads and water, other items that we had already talked to, interviewed the communities and said, what would you buy if we were going to introduce healthy foods into the corner stores? And thanks to that initial attempt that we made through the Fresh Food Financing Initiative to work with these corner store operators, what started as a very small idea has now expanded to over 600 corner store operators throughout the city of Philadelphia.
Creative solutions by the grocers encourage sustainability of the initiative. Dedicated participants went above and beyond, developing needed infrastructure to support new or expanded food retail.
The very first store we did in fresh food financing had a gun problem in its parking lot. That was a mitigating factor resulting in the store's closure. And we knew that violence was an issue in this type work. So we had built a partnership with Congressman Fatah and State Senator Vincent Hughes, in which we do goods for guns before major holidays, and we buy back unwanted guns, and we give them a $100 ShopRite gift card. And they turn the gun into the police, and the police melt them down. My understanding is they have a vendor to use it for bulletproof vests. And so far over the last 3 years, we've bought 7,000 guns with a variety of funding sources, not all by us. And to me, instead of sitting back and saying we have an unsolvable problem, whatever percentage of the problem it mitigates, it may not be huge, but it's demonstrating that we're working on something to improve this problem that plagues a lot of communities like this. A lot of customers I serve are of modest means, and we've taken a good hard look at how we can make a difference for them. And if I give you some examples, in this store we have 2 financial offerings to try to help people avoid predatory financial treatment. And one of them is we have a credit union in the store, and the credit union has a proposition to allow people to have an account at no monthly fee with no balance. Because you know, sometime in the month, if you live on modest means, you won't have any money left, but you really still need an account, and they allow that, and they don't have to pay check writing fees, and they don't pay for ATM surcharges, so they don't need to use a check cashing store and pay a percentage of their income. We also have a financial service department that offers money orders and money transfer, electronic bill paying services. We have a benefit advocacy function that if you're eligible for entitlements or you think you may be eligible, we have a computer that ties into the state's entitlement systems. We could process an electronic application to get people the entitlements that they're eligible for. This store and a number of our stores also have a gym in the shopping center. This one has a Planet Fitness, and again, they have a membership for a very low price. So again, we're starting to build almost like a whole healthy living center that has all the elements of what you would need.